ultimate fusion of sports and music, only on Sound of Sports TV.
The Sound of Sport TV is a 24/7, 365-day-a-year multi-media platform that seamlessly fuses sports and music, built on the pillars of formal, social, comical, educational, and musical content. It delivers real-time updates, athlete playlists, and engaging commentary to keep fans informed, entertained, and inspired around the clock.
All right, we're back and ready for another deep dive into the wild world of the Premier League. This week, let's just say things aren't exactly going as predicted. We've got Liverpool on top, but they're showing some chinks in their armor. Yeah. And then there's Manchester City, the reigning champs. Can you believe it? They're on a losing streak that is. Everyone's scratching their heads. But hey, that's what makes the Premier League so exciting, right? So to break it all down, we've got some great ESPN match reports with all the juicy details, tactics, individual performances, and of course the big question, is this just a temporary shakeup, or are we witnessing a real power shift?
It really is remarkable how quickly things can change in football, isn't it? I mean, 1 minute we're talking about City cruising to another title, and the next they're fighting to stay relevant. It's going to be fascinating to see how both these clubs adapt because, both Liverpool and City are facing challenges, but they're very different challenges.
Right, exactly. Okay, so let's start with Liverpool's match against Southampton. Now, on paper, this one should have been a straightforward win for Liverpool. I mean, come on, they're top of the table. Southampton they're battling relegation. But, and this is where it gets interesting, Southampton actually took the lead. What does that tell you about the Premier League right now?
I think it's a great example of how there are no easy games in this league. Any team on any given day can cause an upset. Southampton might be struggling, but they showed real tactical awareness. They were well organized, they pressed high, and they made Liverpool work for every inch of that pitch.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give them credit for that. But of course, Liverpool being Liverpool, they found a way to pull it off.
Yeah.
And the report really highlights the impact of Salah and Gravenberch in this comeback.
Oh, absolutely. Salah, he was just clinical in front of goal, as always. 2 goals, including the winner from the penalty spot. And it's not just about the goals. His movement, his ability to find space, that's what creates those opportunities. And Gravenberch, he's proving to be a fantastic signing. He really controlled the midfield, picked out some killer passes. Their partnership it's becoming a real force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, you can see that understanding developing between them for sure. Now, the report also mentions Arne Slot, the manager, making some key tactical substitutions that seemed to really shift the momentum. Bringing on Diaz and Mac Allister late in the game, that seemed to energize the attack.
Yeah, that's Slot for you. He's not afraid to make those bold decisions. Bringing on Diaz, that injected some much-needed pace and stretched the Southampton defense. And Mac Allister, he's got that vision. Opened up passing lanes, created more opportunities.
It's not just about the personnel, though, right? It's about changing the entire dynamic of the game.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. It wasn't all perfect for Liverpool. I mean, they did win, but they also conceded 2 goals to a team like Southampton.
Yeah, that's the flip side of this win. Definitely some defensive concerns there. You can't ignore that. The report specifically mentions struggles in one-on-one situations and maybe some lapses in concentration at the back.
Yeah, I mean, against a team like Southampton, you might get away with it. But against stronger opposition, those mistakes, those could be costly. So even a victory, there are warning signs for Liverpool. But okay, let's shift gears now. Let's talk about Manchester City, who are, they're in a whole different kind of trouble right now. They just lost to Tottenham. Their 5th defeat in a row. I mean, what is going on with the reigning champions?
Honestly, it's hard to fathom. This is uncharted territory for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City, a team that's been so utterly dominant for so long, and now suddenly they're looking vulnerable. And it's happening right after Guardiola signs a new contract. A move that was supposed to signal stability and continuity.
It's like the rug's been pulled out from under them.
Yeah.
So it's clearly not just about managerial uncertainty. The report dives into some specific issues like defensive frailties. Their attack isn't clicking. Even Haaland, he's gone quiet.
Yeah, it's a combination of things. Defensively, they're making mistakes that we just haven't seen from them before, giving away cheap goals, not tracking runners. And offensively, they're struggling to break down teams that are sitting deep and defending in numbers.
And you can't underestimate the impact of Rodri's absence.
Right, Rodri, he's such a key player for them. That solidity in midfield, breaking up attacks, starting counterattacks. They're really feeling his absence, that's for sure.
Okay, so the Tottenham match, that was a perfect example of how teams are, well, they're figuring out how to exploit City's weaknesses. The report talks about Tottenham's counterattacking strategy really catching City off guard.
Absolutely, and it's not just Tottenham. Other teams are starting to employ similar tactics. They're pressing high, forcing City into errors, and then bam, they hit them on the break with pace and precision.
And, Guardiola himself, he seems to be acknowledging this vulnerability. He even used the word fragile to describe his team.
I mean, that's pretty telling, isn't it? Coming from a manager like Guardiola, who's known for his confidence and his unwavering belief in the system, it suggests that even he's starting to have some doubts.
So the big question is, can they turn it around? They've got a Champions League match coming up against Feyenoord. And then, oh boy, then they face Liverpool.
Those matches are going to be huge, yeah. Feyenoord, that's a chance to maybe regain some confidence, but Liverpool, that's a whole different beat. That's a real test of character.
It's not just about the points. It's about sending a message. Can City rise to the occasion and remind everyone why they've been so dominant? Or will Liverpool, will they just steamroll them and extend their lead at the top? And all this talk about tactics and formations, it's fascinating, but I can't help but wonder, how are the players themselves dealing with all of this? What must be going through their minds right now? We'll dive into that right after the break.
It's crazy, right? A few weeks ago we were talking about City just dominating the league again. And now the question is, can they even save their season?
It makes you wonder if we're, are we witnessing a real shift in power here? You got Liverpool with their new signings, new manager, new tactics. They're looking strong, even with, some of those defensive issues. And then City, the team that's been the gold standard, they're suddenly just, they look lost out there.
Yeah, and it's not just about the results, right? It's the whole mentality has shifted. I think so, yeah. Liverpool are playing with this hunger, this belief.
Yeah.
It's contagious, you know what I mean? They're not just relying on individual brilliance. They're working hard as a unit, pressing high, winning the ball back quickly.
And you can see it, right? You can see that confidence in the way they play. Even when they go behind, like they did against Southampton, there's no panic.
Right. They stick to the plan. They trust each other. And that's something that, it seems to be missing from City right now. They're making these uncharacteristic errors.
Yeah.
Both individually and as a team. And they're not putting away those chances.
They lost that aura of invincibility. Other teams, they're not afraid of them anymore.
Exactly. They're pressing them higher, disrupting their rhythm.
Forcing those mistakes, yeah.
And that psychological impact, that can be huge. When you're used to winning all the time, a few losses in a row can really mess with your head.
Yeah, you start to doubt yourself. You start to second guess everything.
And it's not just the players on the pitch, right? The fans are feeling it too. That energy at the Etihad, it's different now.
Oh yeah, it's definitely more subdued. There's this tension,
The pressure is on, no doubt about it. The fans expect trophies. They're not used to seeing their team struggle like this.
And with that Liverpool match coming up?
Oh man, the stakes couldn't be higher.
Can you imagine the tension going to that one?
Oh, it's gonna be electric. Liverpool, full of confidence, looking to make a statement, and City, desperate to prove that, they're not done yet.
It's a clash of styles. It's a clash of mentalities. Could be a real turning point in the season.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see how Guardiola approaches it tactically. Does he stick with his possession-based game, or does he try something different?
Does he adapt?
Does he go more pragmatic, maybe shore up the defense a bit?
And then there's the personnel. Will Rodri be back? How does he manage Haaland, who's, he's struggling to find the net?
Right, and how do they deal with the threat of Salah, he's on fire right now?
These are all big questions for Guardiola.
But one thing's for sure, he won't be underestimating Liverpool. He knows they can punish you if you're not at your best.
And Liverpool won't be taking City lightly either.
No way. They know a wounded animal can be dangerous.
This match, it's got everything,
Yeah.
Two top teams, high stakes, tactical intrigue.
Yeah, and drama. Lots of drama.
And, it's not just about the result.
Right?
This match could tell us a lot about the future of the Premier League. Is this the start of a new era, with Liverpool taking over from City? Or can City rediscover their magic and prove that, they're still the team to beat?
Big questions, big questions.
And how will all of this affect the players themselves? We'll get into that right after this thought. We've been talking a lot about tactics and formations and, the managerial side of things. But at the end of the day, it's the players who have to go out there and perform. What must be going through their minds right now?
Oh, it's got to be night and day between those two locker rooms.
Yeah.
I mean, for Liverpool, the energy must be incredible. Top of the table, playing with confidence, winning matches. That kind of momentum, it feeds on itself.
Yeah, I can just imagine the belief that it breeds. And then for City, I mean, it's got to be tough.
Yeah, especially for a team that's so used to winning. 5 losses in a row, that can really shake you.
Yeah, you start to question yourself, you start to doubt.
And the pressure must be immense.
To turn it around.
To live up to those expectations.
And it's not just about individual players either, right? It's about the collective spirit of the team.
Mm-hmm.
When you're winning, everyone's on the same page.
Right, there's that unity, that sense of purpose.
But when things start to go wrong, it can unravel pretty quickly.
Absolutely, and that's where leadership becomes so important. Guys like De Bruyne, Diaz, they need to step up, rally the troops, remind everyone of the quality they have.
Rekindle that fire.
Exactly. They need to find a way to spark that belief again.
And, sometimes going through tough times, it can actually make you stronger. It forces you to confront your weaknesses, to adapt, to evolve.
It's true. Look at Liverpool under Klopp a few years back. They had that rough patch, but they came out of it even better.
Stronger, more resilient.
Exactly. So even though it's a difficult moment for City, it could actually be a valuable learning experience in the long run.
Yeah. It's all about how they respond. And that's what makes this upcoming match against Liverpool so fascinating. Can City rise to the challenge? Can they overcome this adversity? Or will Liverpool just keep rolling and really solidify their position at the top?
It's going to be a huge test for both sides. For City, it's a chance to prove they're not going away. And for Liverpool, it's an opportunity to really stamp their authority on the title race.
And that's why we love the Premier League, right?
Absolutely.
The drama, the unpredictability, the passion.
It's all here, week in, week out.
You just never know what's going to happen next. And that's what keeps us coming back for more. So until next time, keep those sources coming because we're ready to dive into whatever the Premier League throws at us. Keep your eyes on the ball and stay curious.
Sound of Sports TV, your home for sports excitement and musical thrills.
Create an AI song about a 24-hour, 360-day TV channel called The Sound of Sport TV, formal, social, educational, comical, and musical. Else KPY. Create an AI song about a 24-hour, 360-day TV channel called The Sound of Sport TV, formal, social, educational, comical, and musical. KPY. KPY.
We've got your sports and music fix right here on Sound of Sports TV.
In the heart of the field where the stories unfold, precision performers and champions mold. Every stat, every play, the numbers align. Formal yet thrilling, it's sport redefined. With the rhythm, war, the sound of sport forever born. From the whistle's blast to the victory cry, 24 hours of joy in everyone's sky. The gathering place, fans from all over, every creed, every race unite through the passion, the goal, the score. Social connections like never before. Learn the rules, the skills, the game. Legends and tactics, earning that fame. Knowledge flows as the matches play. Educational insights every single day. The bloopers, the laughs, the quirky tales. Harmony celebrations, the slips and fails. Humor is sport, it brings us near. Moments of laughter we all hold dear. Drums of the heartbeat, chants of the crowd. Music in motion, clear and loud. With harmony soaring that sets the tone. The sound of sport. In the heart of the field where the stories unfold, precision performance, the champions mold. Every stat, the numbers align. Formal yet thrilling, is sport redefined. Feel the rhythm, hear the roar, the sound of sport forevermore for more. Feel the whistles blast and the victory cry. 24 hours of joy under the one sky. It's the guy. It's the guy. It's the guy. It's the meeting of minds, the gathering place. Fans from all over, every creed, every race unite through the passion, the goal, the score. Social connections like never before. Learn the rules, the skills, the game. Legends and tactics earning their fame. Knowledge flows as the matches play. Educational insights every single day. The bloopers, the laughs, the quirky tales. From wacky celebrations to slips and fails. Humor in sport, it brings us near. Moments of laughter we all hold dear. Drums of the heartbeat, chants of the crowd. Music in motion, clear and loud. With harmony soaring and sets the tone. The sound of sport where we feel at home. The sound of sport where we feel at home. It's the guy. It's the guy. It's the guy. It's the meeting of the minds, the gathering place. Fans from all over, every creed, every race unite through the passion, the goal, the score. Social connections like never before. Learn the rules, the skills, the game. Legends and tactics earning their fame. Knowledge flows as the matches play. Educational insights every single day. The bloopers, the laughs, the quirky tales. The wacky celebrations, the slips and fails. Humor in sport, it brings us near. Moments of laughter we all hold dear. Drums of the heartbeat, chants of the crowd. Music in motion, clear and loud. Harmony soaring that sets the tone. The sound of sport where we feel at home. The sound of sport where we feel at home. The sound of sport where we feel at home.
We've got your sports and music fix right here on Sound of Sports TV.
VAR drama and a new era for Manchester United. Highlights from the match. In a surprising turn, VAR was temporarily unavailable due to a fire alarm at Stockley Park. Just 81 seconds into the match, Marcus Rashford scored an early goal for Manchester United. Referee Anthony Taylor updated team captains about the VAR situation before halftime. Ruben Amorim debuted as Manchester United's head coach, aiming to restore the club's glory. Amorim expressed confidence in improving the team, acknowledging the challenges ahead. Stay tuned for more exciting football updates.
The Sound of Sport TV is a 24/7, 365-day a year multimedia platform that seamlessly fuses sports and music. Built on the pillars of formal, social, comical, educational, and musical content. It delivers real-time updates, athlete playlists, and engaging commentary to keep fans informed, entertained, and inspired around the clock.
The coolest station online.
Yeah, that's us.
'Cause we play
This.
All right, diving in again. Today, the Premier League. But hold on, we're not just crunching numbers here.
Not this time.
Nope. We're going deep with a serious Arsenal fan, British rapper Chip.
And that's what makes this interesting. He's not just a casual fan, you know? He gets the culture, the music scene, all of it. Adds another dimension.
Exactly. Our source is a TalkSport interview. Honestly, the guy is insightful. He talks about his music, yeah, but also Arsenal's chances. And he drops some wisdom about ambition, expectations.
Real world stuff.
Absolutely.
Right.
So why should this matter to you? Even if you're not a football fanatic, Chip's take is fascinating. It's about navigating a competitive world, any world.
And the Premier League. Stakes don't get much higher.
Right. Everyone wants that top spot.
Yeah.
Okay, so early in the interview, the hosts are pushing Chip. They're like, double for Arsenal this year. League and a cup. Trying to get a prediction.
Classic.
But Chip shuts it down immediately.
Doesn't bite.
He's excited, you can tell.
Yeah.
He says, I won't talk nonsense. No getting swept up in the hype.
Smart. Especially with Man City looking shaky, everyone else is thinking, this could be our year.
That feeling is dangerous, though. Assuming someone else's weakness equals your automatic win.
Exactly.
Chip gets that.
Yeah.
And I think his music background plays into this.
How so?
Well, in music, you don't wait for someone to fail. You got to create your own success.
Wants it push. All right.
Innovate. And Chip, he brings up Liverpool. How solid they were through manager changes.
It's interesting.
He's impressed by their stability. Different managers, but that core style, that attacking football, never change.
Consistent vision, no matter who's in charge. That's a lesson for anyone, right?
Absolutely. Adapt, but don't lose your identity. Now, here's where it gets good. The TalkSport guys start on Man United's trophies. Look at all their titles, they say. What does Arsenal have?
Saying I'm at.
Chip's response, you can't win today's race with yesterday's awards. Boom.
Mic drop moment right there. Past achievements are great, but they don't win you the current game.
Exactly. What matters is your current value, what you're bringing to the table now.
Applies to everyone, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Careers, anything. Don't get stuck in the past. Focus on what you're doing today, how you're relevant today.
Yeah. Don't let someone else's bigger trophy cabinet intimidate you. Focus on your own progress.
That's Chip's message in a nutshell.
It was not all sunshine and roses, though, right? Chip doesn't shy away from the tough times.
Not at all. He paints a pretty stark picture of those years when Arsenal was struggling. Managers changing, the team just not clicking.
Yeah, he talked about that lack of energy at the Emirates, almost a sense of, giving up.
Must have been tough for a fan like him.
Definitely. He even mentioned feeling awkward wearing the Arsenal shirt, like it represented something not quite living up to its potential.
Makes his current optimism even more interesting. It's not just blind faith. It comes from seeing how far they've come.
Exactly. And again, he brings up Liverpool.
Always back to Liverpool.
Well, they're a good example. He talks about their ability to stay stable, successful, even with those manager changes.
Which is a good contrast, right? Some clubs, it's like every new manager, whole new philosophy, reinventing the wheel every time.
Exhausting. But Liverpool had this vision, a style of play they stuck to.
And you could say Arsenal, under Arteta, are trying to do that now. Build a system that can last.
Makes sense. It's like build a foundation, then you can weather any storm.
Right. Now, even though Chip admires Liverpool's consistency, he's not saying copy-paste, right?
No, it's more about the principle. Find what works for you.
And build on it. Don't try to be someone else.
Back to that yesterday's awards line. It applies here, too.
Absolutely. Now, the TalkSport guys, they push back a bit. They're like, Cop 4. Shouldn't Arsenal aim higher?
They're playing devil's advocate a bit there.
Yeah, isn't that a low bar for a club like Arsenal?
But Chip handles it well. He acknowledges the history, but he's also like, hold on, look how far we've come.
From those dark days, right.
Yeah. He's basically saying, even being in the conversation for top 4 is a win, considering where they were.
Progress isn't always a straight line, right? You have setbacks. What matters is the overall direction.
That's the maturity in Chip's perspective. He's not just blindly cheering, he sees the bigger picture.
He even calls it a process. Building a winning culture takes time.
Patience, too. And learning from mistakes.
It's like he's saying, enjoy the journey, but don't lose sight of the goal. Trophies are great, but it's also about building something that lasts.
Sustainable success, yeah.
So, what are you thinking? What stands out to you about Chip's take on Arsenal's journey?
I think it's that balance. He's clearly passionate, but he's also realistic. He can appreciate the progress while still being excited about the future.
That's a good lesson for any of us. Be passionate, yeah, but keep your feet on the ground.
Absolutely. Now, Chip didn't just talk about Arsenal. He had some interesting thoughts about the Premier League as a whole.
Okay, let's dive into that next. This is getting good. Back for the final part of our Chip deep dive. Premier League insights from a rapper. Who knew?
Right. But we've covered a lot. Arsenal's journey, building a winning culture, it's all connected.
And I keep thinking about what he said about competition. It's not just about Arsenal for him.
No, he sees the whole league, right? Like this ecosystem that's always changing.
Exactly. He talks about every team, even the ones struggling, having that potential to shake things up.
Disrupt the order.
And he uses that line again, yesterday's awards.
Right.
Like past wins don't guarantee anything.
Which is interesting because you think of the Premier League, you got your Giants, Man U, Liverpool, always at the top.
Supposedly. But Chip's saying, no, complacency kills.
Yeah.
Any team with the right approach can rise.
It's about that constant improvement, right? He's not just talking about players getting better, but the whole club.
Adapting tactics, new technology, always looking for an edge.
It's like he's taking that music world mindset and applying it to football.
Makes sense. You can't just keep releasing the same song, gotta evolve.
Push boundaries, experiment.
That's Chip's message to the Premier League. Don't get comfortable, the landscape is shifting. Adapt or get left behind.
And that's a lesson for anyone, really. Business, art, whatever you do.
So as we wrap this up, I gotta ask, where can you apply this in your own life?
Are you stuck in past wins?
Yeah.
Or are you pushing yourself to be better, to innovate?
Chip reminds us, even in football, there's always more to learn, more to achieve.
Maybe that's what makes the Premier League so great. You never really know what's going to happen.
That any team could rise to the challenge. And that's what we love about these deep dives, right? Finding wisdom in unexpected places.
Inspiration from all angles.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
And keep diving deep.
We'll be back with more soon. Thanks for listening.
Trivia time. Did you know? The Premier League has had over 2,000 foreign players since its inception. Stay tuned for more fun facts from the Sound of Sport TV after this track.
In the part of the field where the stories unfold, precision, performance, the champions mold. Every stat, every play, the numbers align. Formal yet thrilling, it's sport redefined. Feel the rhythm, hear the roar, the sound of sport forever born. From the whistle's blast to the victory cry. Of joy under one sky. 24 hours of joy under one sky. In the morning, to every place, fans from all over, forever created and race, unite to the passion of all of the score, social can before. Social become minds at every place, fans from all over, forever created and race, unite to the passion, the goal, the score, social convictions have never before. Learn the goals, skills, the game, the legends and tactics, earning that fame. Knowledge moves the matches, play, educational insights in every single day. The proof of the quirky tales, for wacky celebrations, slips and fails. Humor and sport, it brings us near. Moments of laughter we all hold dear. Moments of laughter chant in the crowd. Music in motion, clear and loud. With hum and soaring that sets the tone. The sound of sport where we feel at home. The sound of sport where we feel at home. The sound of sport where we feel at home. 24 hours of joy under one sky. Joy under one sky. It's the meeting of minds and gathering place. Fans from all over the creative the race. Unite to the passion, the goal, the score, social connections like never before. The rules, skill, the game, legends and tactics, earning that fame. Knowledge flows in the matches, play, educational insights in every single day. The proof of the quirky tales, wacky celebrations, slips and fails. Humor and sport, it brings us near. Moments of laughter we all hold dear. Chance in the crowd. Music in motion, clear and loud. With harmony sport, it sets the tone. The sound of sport where we feel at home. The throats of laughter chants in the crowd. The sound of sport where we feel at home. sound of sport where we feel at home.
The perfect blend of music and sports. We understand that music is the heartbeat of sports. It's what drives athletes to push harder, what keeps fans engaged, and what makes every moment more memorable. Whether it's the pre-match anthem that gets the stadium roaring or the post-match track that helps players unwind, music is essential to the sports experience. We curate playlists that are perfectly aligned with the energy of each sport, making sure that whether you're preparing for a big game, running your fastest mile, or lifting your heaviest weight, you have the perfect soundtrack to keep you going. The Sound of Sport TV.
At the Emirates, under gleaming lights, a clash awaits, a Premier League fight. Feet for the floor, kick with a steady clap and minimal sinks to build anticipation with Liverpool roaring. Top of the league, Arsenal's resolve. It's time to intrigue after bomb of sting. We felt the weight, but against Shakhtar we sealed our fate. Introduce rhythmic hi-hats and a groovy bass line as energy rises. Now we march to this must-win test. For glory's core, we give our best. The beat intensifies with late synths and crowd samples to gunners rise in red and white, fighting for dreams on this fierce night. At the Emirates, our fortress strong. Together we march where we belong. Feet steady, get added bass depth. Suck our star, races the clock. Back from the stretch, ready to rock. Timber's return still awaits the day, yet hope's a spark lighting the way. Slow down the tempo and bring in ambient sounds and soft synths. Fury limps his knee in pain, but Arteta's will won't let us wane. We're Saliba out, defense is thin, but here at home we fight to win. Bring back the chorus with full energy, adding vocal chops, powerful bass, and intense synths. A 2-0 victory we seek tonight, to silence the Reds in fading lights. The Gunners rise, it's now or never. For title dreams we pull together. Let the beat gradually fade, leaving just crowd chants and echoes of Arsenal. For the title dreams we pull together. 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 For the title dreams we pull together.
Georgia Essential. Constant hell you can see how mine. Tasted. Please, music, plus. Let's dream victory.
Dream of that sting, we do it our shots. Need God tech, that was enterprise, they hear where parts. And Eddie has to make split light. Just let ways combine seals, the rituals and some settings. They so simple, show hang, identify those start to walk of ours all out.
The Emirates.
Let the Emirates, under gleaming lights, a clash awaits, a Premier League fight. Let the Emirates, under gleaming lights, a clash awaits, a Premier League fight. Let the Emirates.
Welcome to Sound of Sport, your go-to destination for the latest sports news, updates, and adrenaline-pumping beats. From game-winning results and to record-breaking scorelines, we've got you covered with all the highlights and headlines from the world of sports. Plus, we'll be playing all types of beats to get you pumped up for the sporting occasions ahead. Like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the ultimate sports
Hey, this is Justin Bieber.
This is Gwen Stefani. Hi, this is Madonna. What's up, you guys? It's Nicki Minaj.
Is it too late now to say sorry? Baby, don't lie. I don't wanna cry no
longer. Get ready for the ultimate sports and music experience. Sound of Sports TV.
All right, so I've been following this whole Man City thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's huge, right? This whole APT rules situation. We've got a ton of articles, some really strong opinions from Simon Jordan, former Crystal Palace owner. Never holds back. It's interesting stuff. We're going to try and get to the bottom of this whole mess of money and power and what fair play even means in football these days.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's like this case, it's not even just about Man City anymore. It's way bigger.
Yeah.
It really gets you thinking about, like, how do you even regulate money in sports? What's it supposed to do? Does it even work?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah. Okay, so let's break this down. First off, for like anyone who needs a refresher, what are these APT rules everyone's freaking out about?
Right, so APT, Associated Party Transactions. Basically, they're supposed to stop clubs from, cheating the system.
Yeah.
Messing with their finances. Like, imagine a club, they want to make their books look good, right? So they sell a player to a company they secretly own for, like, an insane price. Way more than he's worth.
Right.
These APT rules, that's what they're trying to stop. Making sure transfers, sponsorships, all
deals.
Yeah, any deal happens at a fair price.
Okay, so basically it's all about keeping things transparent.
Yeah.
Stopping clubs from pulling a fast one to get ahead. Right.
Exactly.
But here's where it gets weird. Simon Jordan, guy who's actually owned the club, been there, done that.
Right.
He's actually on Man City's side with this. He's pushing back against these rules. Doesn't that seem a little counterintuitive?
Yeah, at first you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
But his argument is that these rules, the way they are now, they're actually doing the opposite of what they're meant to. Yeah. They're making it harder for new clubs to break into the top, even if they have tons of money.
So he's saying, like, even if some billionaire comes along, wants to pour money into like a smaller club, these regulations could actually stop them from spending enough to really challenge the big guys.
Exactly.
Wow.
He calls it anti-competitive. Like, it creates this, like, exclusive club at the top and nobody else gets in.
Right.
He even points out the last teams to really break in were Man City and Newcastle.
Right.
And he thinks it's even harder now than it was then.
That's a bold statement.
Yes.
Especially from someone who knows the game so well, but don't you think we need some kind of rules? I mean, to prevent, like, total financial chaos, clubs going bankrupt.
Of course, yeah, you need stability.
Yeah.
But Jordan's point is that this APT system, it might actually be too strict, that it's hurting the competition it's trying to protect. He says 91% of all the money in English football goes to the top 20 clubs.
Wow.
And everyone else is fighting for scraps.
So the rules designed to stop financial dominance are actually making it worse.
That's his argument, yeah.
That's a really interesting point.
It is. And it goes beyond just the money, too.
Yeah.
He criticizes Man City and the Premier League for how they're handling this whole thing. He says the way they're talking to each other, it's all wrong. It's not helpful. Just leading to more conflict.
So it's not just the rules, but also how they're talking about them? What's his take on that?
Well, he thinks it shows a bigger problem with how football is run. There's no transparency, no trust. Instead of working together, it's like they're fighting each other and nobody wins.
Right.
And this is where things get really interesting. He talks about this conversation he had with Arsene Wenger.
Oh, wow.
The legendary Arsenal manager.
Yeah.
Wenger said the biggest change in football, it's not the players, not the managers, not even the fans, it's the owners.
Yeah, I mean, you look at who's buying clubs these days. It's hedge funds, corporations, billionaires, whole countries even. It's a whole different game.
Exactly. And that's a big reason why people are pushing back against these APT rules. The old rules, they might not work anymore with all these different owners.
Yeah, it's like trying to use yesterday's tools for today's problems.
Exactly. And the Premier League, they need to figure out how to handle this.
So does Jordan offer any solutions, or is he just, pointing out the problems?
Yeah, he definitely asks some tough questions. He says, and I quote, "The entirety of football is anti-competitive because the Premier League itself is anti-competitive."
Wow.
He thinks the whole system, the way it's set up, with this massive gap between the top clubs and everyone else, is just not fair.
So is this Man City thing, is this just the beginning? Like, is it making everyone finally face these bigger issues?
I think so, yeah. And what's really interesting is you've got someone like Simon Jordan, who was part of that system, who benefited from it.
Right.
And now he's the one calling it out.
Right.
Really makes you think, what would a truly fair system even look like?
This is almost like bigger than football, isn't it?
Right.
This whole thing about money, competition, what's actually good for the sport. It's like these are questions about like fairness in society as a whole, you know?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's not just theoretical either.
Yeah.
Think about the fans.
Right.
Who wants to watch a league where, like, you already know who's going to win, where it's the same teams at the top every year?
Yeah.
The exciting part is the unpredictability, the chance for an underdog to come up and surprise everyone.
Yeah, it's that hope that keeps people coming back.
Exactly.
But like, if the rules make it impossible for smaller clubs to even compete, doesn't that ruin the fun?
Totally.
And what about the players? Does it mean only the super rich teams get all the best players?
Yeah, that's a big worry. You end up with all the talent concentrated in a few places.
Right.
It hurts player development. Young players don't get as many chances to prove themselves. So it's not just about fairness for the clubs, it's about the whole sport being healthy and diverse.
So, okay, what do we do then?
Yeah.
If these APT rules are maybe doing more harm than good,
Right.
do we just get rid of them? Let clubs spend whatever they want?
I don't know, that's kind of scary, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a free-for-all sounds good in theory, but then you might get clubs just spending recklessly, going bankrupt, and then the gap between clubs gets even bigger.
Right.
It's about finding that sweet spot, rules that keep things fair and financially sound, but don't, strangle the competition.
It's a tough balance. So, what are some of the ideas out there? How do you actually make a more level playing field?
Well, one idea that's getting some attention is a more flexible approach to financial regulation. So instead of a hard limit for everyone, you tie the spending limits to how much money a club actually makes.
Oh, yeah.
Or their overall financial situation.
So smaller clubs can grow at their own pace, but the big clubs can't just drown everyone else out with money.
Yeah, exactly.
That's interesting, but wouldn't that be really hard to actually do? And wouldn't it create all sorts of new loopholes and ways for clubs to cheat the system?
Yeah, for sure. That's the challenge.
Yeah.
It would need a much smarter system, better oversight.
Right.
And you'd have to constantly adapt it because the way football's financed, it keeps changing.
Right.
But I think it's a conversation we need to have. What kind of football do we actually want to see?
Right.
A sport where a few super teams rule everything, or a sport where any team, if they're smart and get a little lucky, can actually make it to the top?
And that's the thing, right? It's about more than just what happens on the pitch.
Yeah.
It's about the values we want in the sport, what kind of future we're building for players and fans.
Absolutely.
And this brings us back to you, the listener.
Yeah, this isn't just some theoretical debate happening somewhere else.
Right.
This affects you directly as a fan. Your passion for the game, what you choose to watch, what you say online, in the stadium, it all matters.
Yeah.
As you keep up with this Man City case, don't forget the big picture.
Yeah.
Are the rules working? What kind of football do you want to see?
Yeah, it's easy to get caught up in the drama of each individual case.
Definitely.
But this whole deep dive, it's shown us there are some really deep problems.
And you know what I find fascinating? This whole discussion we're having about football.
Yeah.
It's happening everywhere, not just in sports.
Oh, yeah.
Look at tech, finance, the media. Everyone's struggling with these questions. How do we regulate power, stop monopolies, give new players a fair chance?
It's like football is a mirror to society, showing us all our anxieties about fairness, competition, how wealth and power get concentrated.
Exactly. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay.
If you could rewrite the rules, how would you do it? How would you make football more balanced, more exciting, more accessible for everyone?
That's a big question.
Yeah.
No easy answers there.
Nope.
But it's worth talking about, Maybe that's the good thing that comes out of all this Man City drama.
Yeah.
It makes us step back, look at the bigger picture.
Exactly. We get to really think about what matters, you know? Like, what kind of football do we want?
Yeah.
One where a few super teams control everything, or one where any team can make it if they have the talent, the right strategy, and, you know, a little bit of luck.
And that dream, that's powerful, right?
It is.
That's what inspires young players.
Yeah.
Keeps the fans engaged.
Keeps them coming back.
Creates that passion, that drama. That's what makes football so global.
Exactly. It's why we love those underdog stories, you know? When a team beats the odds and does something amazing.
Yeah, like Leicester City winning the Premier League.
Oh, yeah.
That was incredible.
Nobody saw that coming.
It was like, wow, anything is possible in this sport.
Yes, and that's what we got to protect.
Yeah, for sure. So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay.
You're not just watching this happen. You're part of it.
Right, you're part of the story.
Your voice matters. What you do as a fan, the conversations you have, the questions you ask, it all shapes the future of the game.
Engage with this stuff. Debate it with your friends. Post about it online. Let your passion for the game drive a real conversation about how to make it better, more competitive, more fun for everyone.
Absolutely. Well said. That's all the time we have for today. We've gone deep on APT rules.
Yeah, we did.
Dug into the whole mess of financial regulation.
That was fun.
Even got a bit philosophical about fairness and competition.
All connected.
We heard from Simon Jordan, a guy who knows the game inside and out, and he's questioning the very system he was a part of.
Makes you think.
We've left you with some big questions to chew on.
As you keep exploring this amazing, crazy world of football.
Keep digging, keep asking questions, keep the conversation going. Until next time, enjoy the beautiful
Keane's
game.
Heated confrontation with an Ipswich Town fan after a match. Roy Keane faced off against an Ipswich Town fan after the Manchester United match. The confrontation was sparked by insults regarding Keane's past management at Ipswich. In a tense moment, Keane challenged the fan to meet him in the car park. Jamie Redknapp stepped in, trying to defuse the escalating situation between them. This incident follows a previous assault on Keane during a live match broadcast in June 2023. Follow us for more sports updates and insights.
Thanks for tuning in to The Sound of Sport TV, where we bring you the latest sports news and the hottest beats to keep your energy high. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thrilling updates. Until next time, stay tuned and stay sporty.